Do you know that the less time you have, the better it actually is? I was at this conference, ClickFunnels, and Russell Brunson from the stage, he was talking that he had like a month to make $1 million and he never made $1 million before. But because he was running out of money, he had this deadline and he either goes bankrupt in a month or he makes this million. He did everything and he made $1 million. This is why I'm all about acting fast. And I actually love those shorter deadlines, because if you're telling yourself, I want to make $1 million in the next year, then you're like taking 3 months off, then the other quarter you're figuring out your idea, and then the next quarter you're trying to launch it, and by the last quarter of the year you understand that this is not actually the idea that you wanted to go with. But if you acted faster, if you executed in a couple days, you would have known that this idea won't work, but maybe another idea, a bit modified idea, will work. So this video is about tips on how to start a business in 2 or 3 days. Test out your idea. Interested? Continue watching. Did you know how we got our first client? I was 21 years old, back at the university, and I didn't have any company back then. I didn't have any experience, but we just started telling people that we're starting this company. And you know, people are genuinely interested when somebody starts doing something and they want to watch your progress. So we're like, yeah, you know, we're like thinking of the concept, building the website, blah, blah, blah. And then just one of our classmates was like, I wanted to go and study languages abroad. Would you guys help me? And we're like, yeah, of course. We're already doing this thing. She was our first client and we like ran and registered the company. But this happened really fast. We didn't have a website. We didn't have an office. We had nothing, zero. We just started telling people that we're doing this thing. And this is how the first customer came about. Yes, this is that easy. Just, you know, no social media, no nothing. Just start telling your circles that you're doing something. And yes, you have to be B2C probably, because B2C, a business to customer, it's easier to sell consumer products to your surrounding. But if you're doing like a SaaS, like a solution for companies, you would need to go to like events and conferences and just start telling people that you're doing this thing. You don't have to necessarily have it. You just have to have the idea. You need to sound confident. You need to, well, start a company in something that you really know. And then, you know, when you have your first client, you're gonna worry about like registering and stuff. I think this is a really sane approach and it really helped us to start. Number 2. If you want to sell a physical product, again, yes, you can go all fancy. You can go and, you know, create thousands of those products, spend hours and hours on thinking about the design and best materials and stuff. But if it doesn't sell, this is all worthless. So what you need to try doing right now is actually set up your own shop, create an offer, create a product, maybe like a small batch, and try selling it. Because if you don't sell 20, you wouldn't sell 100. And sometimes people just, you know, there is this type of people, and I'm afraid that more and more people are like that. They're like, you know, they want to start a YouTube channel. They haven't even filmed their first video, but they're already getting all the cameras and mics and all of the expensive stuff. And then they create their first video and they're like, maybe this is not my thing.
Yeah. This is really not my thing.
But they've spent all of this money already. My approach is always, I call this entrepreneurial approach, or like business mind approach. When you start with zero, when you start from scratch, investing nothing, just your expertise, just, you know, maybe small amount of money. We invest like 300. If you're creating a physical product, yes, you would need that physical product, but you don't need the rest. Like, it is so easy to build websites for smaller shops. It's so easy to handle all the online sales right now with all the tools. And this video is brought to you by Volusion, the company that actually helps you sell products online. And I'm gonna tell you a little about it, because if you're thinking of launching an actual product, this is something that you could use today and test your idea tomorrow and see if you want to do it the day after tomorrow. This is one of the best providers of easy e-commerce solutions for small and medium-sized businesses, and they provide one of the most intuitive storefront solutions with unsurpassed customer service and support. Use my promo code Silicon Valley Girl, use the link below, and get 80% off any business level plan and test your idea straight away. Just imagine in one place you're gonna create your landing page. You're gonna start accepting transactions. If you would make any sales, you would just ship through that platform. It's that easy. You don't need a developer, you don't need a storage, you don't need a designer, nothing. You just start and test. If it goes, amazing. If it doesn't work, then you will switch to something else. This is what it takes to start a business. Tip number 3, if you're trying to sell something that is intangible, like an online course or maybe a service, my best strategy to testing it out is actually creating a small landing page where you would give people something for free. For example, what I would do, if I wanted to market my YouTube course, for example, I would create a checklist with top 10 topics that go viral on YouTube no matter what. I would create this list and give it for free to people who give me their emails. And I would create a Facebook ad or like a Google ad that would target people, and I would just follow them everywhere with like, hey, you're stuck with a YouTube channel, want to make another viral video? Here are my top 10 ideas to create a viral video. There's a link below, leave your email, you're gonna get this list, blah, blah, blah. And then what I'm gonna do next, because when you're selling a service and people don't know you, I just think you don't have any social media or something, you need to really build trust. And this is the way you build trust. You give them something for free, they look at your list and they're like, oh, maybe she understands something in YouTube. Maybe I should, try and follow her advice. And they download your list, you get their email, the next email coming from you, and you can automate all of that, but you can just do it manually. The next day you send them like, hey, you haven't started a YouTube channel yet. Here's my top 3 tips on starting YouTube channels in 2019. And tell them a little about yourself, like, hey, I did this, this, and that. Amazing. And then the second email you send them, again, be useful, give them some useful information. And then with the letter number 3, you can start selling. By the way, if you haven't started a YouTube channel, there's my course, sign up, giving you exclusive 30% discount, whatever. In this way, you're able to save a lot of money on Facebook ads. Because if you just target people with your product, if you just target them with your service, they would be like, I don't know that person, I don't know if I can trust them. And they would click, but then they will drop off. And if you don't have like a lead capture thing on your website, which you probably don't, then they would just go away. So they would need an incentive to become your lead. And this free product, free checklist or whatever, can be that thing. So try that, and your CTR is going to be really high and your conversions are going to be really good. And then it's up to you how you're going to sell your product. But this is the way to test out the idea. Are people interested in starting a YouTube channel? Maybe not. Like, go ahead and test, and it takes 2 or 3 days. And tip number 4, something that works for me, something that works for all of my companies, social media. Again, being useful for people. Create an account with your expertise, give them value. And by the way, maybe you have some followers on social media. Maybe you have your Facebook fans or like friends. Maybe you have Instagram friends. You know what's the best way to test your idea? Is don't ask them like, oh my God, guys, if I created this, this, and that, would you buy from me? Of course they're gonna tell you, yes, of course, go ahead. Sounds interesting. But would they really buy? You don't know. They need to vote with their cash, with real money. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna create a post where you're gonna tell people, I've just launched this course. It costs $59.99. I'm giving it to you for $39.99 just today. You have 12 hours to pay. And you see how many payments come through. And you can always refund those payments, or you can tell them, hey, okay, I'm gonna deliver in a week, which is fine. And you will have time to create a product. Just think of a product that you can create within a week. This is the only way to test. Because if you just if you tell your mom, hey mom, what do you think if I'm gonna start this online company teaching people how to start on YouTube? Your mom be like, yeah, that's amazing, we'll support you no matter what you do.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. This is not testing your idea. My idea of testing is actually coming up with an offer, coming up with a price, see how people pay, like make them pay, and then make a decision where you want to proceed with that or not. That was it from me for today, guys. I hope you're gonna use my principle of starting as soon as possible, because a lot of your ideas that you think are genius ideas, amazing ideas, are actually not. Or maybe when you start bringing them to life, you realize there's so many things that you forgot to think about that it's actually impossible at this stage of your life. So try and test as fast as you can. My challenge for you is start a business in 2 days. Like, go ahead, do it. Let me know in comments below if you're gonna do it. I mean, this is the only way to start, because you can spend years. Oh, I wanted to tell you this story. I had a friend who was like, I want to quit my corporate job. I want to start a business. I'm gonna take this year off. And what she ended up doing is just, you know, she thought that if she takes this corporate life away from her life, she's gonna get a lot more energy on actually thinking about her idea. But what she was doing, she was just thinking about it. She wasn't really testing. She was just researching and like talking to people, which is not bringing this to market. And by the end of her 1 year sabbatical, she realized that she didn't come up with any decent idea, and she's now back in her corporate world, which is not a bad thing, but the initial purpose was to become an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs are people who test very quickly. And if you need another inspiration, watch my interview with Alex Mayer. He launches businesses every week. He just sold his company for 280 million. Amazing guy. A lot of great insights. The link will be below. Yeah, now this is it for me. If you're not yet subscribed, hit subscribe. I'll see you soon in the next videos. Bye.